So once again, under content and then weekly content, the first several items are just kind of one-off, first-time things to help you get oriented towards a class. But each week, you're going to be going into a different lesson folder. And I'm starting with week 1, lesson 1 here. That starts April 8th and ends April 15th. And let's just see what it looks like inside of there. So the first thing that you'll need to do to complete all the work for this week is read chapter 1 from the textbook, which is the one by Campbell and Wynne, the textbook Introduction to Remote Sensing. And once you've read chapter 1, then you can take the chapter 1 quiz. This quiz you can take up to 3 times, and it'll only keep your highest grade. It's not timed, and it is open resource, so you can look in your book as you're taking the quiz. Once you've done that, you'll want to download the Lecture 1 PowerPoint. This is just kind of a PowerPoint that introduces the class and the major topics that we're going to cover the class during week 1. And then once you've downloaded the PowerPoint, you might want to take notes in that or print it out so that you have something to write on, or do it electronically. But then you would want to look at the actual lecture for this week, which is this Lecture 1 Introduction to Remote Sensing. These are small, short videos, and after each short video, a number of these strung together, and in between the videos, there are just one question quiz poppers that you'll answer as you work through this. So let's take a look at what this looks like. I'm going to enter student preview mode so that I can see it here. Go into content, weekly content. Now I'm only seeing what you see, week 1, lesson 1. And then I'm going to click on this Introduction to Remote Sensing here. And it will just send you through a number of slides. So this is the first one on remote sensing. And it just lists an outline of what is going to be covered here. And then you can just flip through these. The first thing to come up will be a video. You can see this one's 1 minute and 25 seconds, just talking about
for our remote sensing class will be
the textbooks for the class.
5th edition.
And then once you've done that, then you'll get onto a page like this, and there's just a true or false question. So the true or false question in this case, it could be true or false or multiple choice. You can get the Kindle edition of the lab manual for only $2.99. Fortunately, that is true. That's good news, right? So you check your answer, it's right. If you had misunderstood the video and checked false, you would know it's incorrect. But make sure you check the correct answer, check your answer, and then move on, because this is actually recorded in the grade book. So once you've done that one, then you go on. The next topic is electromagnetic spectrum platforms and sensors. You'll see a short video for this once again. In this case, 2 minutes.
A key topic for this class.
Then you'll go on, answer a question about that. This one's multiple choice. We'll be using Landsat 8 data for the labs. And you'll just continue on there. So once you've worked through all of that, then you'll actually have a quiz to do based on the lecture that you just watched. This quiz is going to have similar but not the same questions as you just answered in the quiz poppers above. And so the more prepared you are from this section, the easier this one will be. You have one chance for this one. This one is going to close out on the due date. So once the due date comes, you will no longer be able to take those. But I will leave these open so that if you're way behind, you can still do these ones and get some credit. But I would just suggest keeping up with all of these. Once you've done that, you'll do a class activity. In the first example here, the class activity, this will show the instructions for it. The first class activity is just downloading ArcGIS Pro, or getting to a place where you can run ArcGIS Pro. And I want to see that you're able to actually open up the software. So I ask you to include a screenshot such as this, and that's what you'll upload. And for those of you, of course, that don't have access to Pro on your home machines or can't run it, you'll need to find a place where you can work in Pro. And this talks about the other option here, that you can do that in the Pioneer 200 Computer Lab on the Bend campus. There's one other item here. And that's the labs. And you can look at the next video for the labs.